Hey everybody, welcome to the Token Nerd Podcast, where we ramble on about geeky things ranging from Batman to pop figures to Star Wars. I'm your host, Anthony Pettiford.
And I'm Travis Lynkins.
Well, it's been a vacation week.
Vacation.
We just want to just come out and say this is episode 28. You know, the big joke is it's what 26, 27 episodes further than we thought we'd ever get.
Probably 29.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, we were gone last week. And Travis here was gone abroad to the exotic land of Canada, right?
Mexico.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah, south of the border.
Really?
Yeah.
So
We tried to get back before the wall was built, so that there was no issue there. But
but you're white. It's fine. You get across.
That's true.
Jenny would get stuck.
I probably would have made it, but it was great. We had a lot of fun, saw a lot of cool things. Went and visited some Mayan ruins, and did some things within Playa del Carmen, which is where we're staying. Cozumel, Cancun. Saw some street art. It's always a good.
Yeah,
day.
saw that on your Instagram.
And one of my favorite things I saw, I did not buy because I was trying to negotiate with the guy, and didn't get it because he wouldn't come down 20 pesos, which is not very much money. It's like $1. But anyway, so he had a Super Amigos action figure, which was clearly a bootleg Captain America. And it was so awesome, but he would not come down 20 pesos, so I would not buy it.
It wouldn't come down $1.
I had to stay. I had to stay firm because I had stood there for like 5 minutes, like negotiating with this guy, and he wouldn't come down. So I had to stay with it. But I'm kind of kicking myself that I did not get the Super Amigo action figure Captain America edition.
What, Capitano America?
It didn't say Captain America, but it clearly was a really badly painted version of Captain America.
Well, I didn't go as far as you did. I only went to the great state of Iowa, where I did RAGBRAI, which is the great race across. Is the great race? Yeah, great.
It's a race, and it's great.
Or great ride across the rag across. Anyway,
Did you even do this thing?
I did. I've always have to convince myself it's not RAGBRAI, it's RAGBRAI, and it's bike across the great state of Iowa. Anyway, that's what I did. It's a 7-day ride that you start in the Missouri River. Basically, you dip your back tire in the Missouri River, and you ride so you can dip your front tire in the Mississippi. You basically go across the state. And so I went down there with my family. We rode for our team, which is Big Joe's Herd Turtles. We try to raise awareness for polycystic kidney disease, which is what I have, my grandpa has, mom has, my aunts have. So our team went down there and did that, and the second day was miserable. I've had 4 flat bike tires in my life. Actually, I've had 5. 4 of them happened in the first 20 miles of the ride, and it was miserable. There were a ton of hills this year. It was really hot. Still a great time though. I'll line pictures up on my personal Instagram, which is at a pet PETT00. I posted pictures of me and my girlfriend. We were down there. We saw this one guy. He had a plane collection on one of the stops. So he built a small museum of his collection of planes. We set up these beer tents. Not amazing things happened, but it was a fun time, and we got to raise awareness and some money. But whole point of this is that Travis and I were completely out of service, and that's why I was trying to think of something clever for our title, like no shirts, no shoes, no service, no comics, no movies, no service. But of course, it'd be during Comic-Con season, and so we got to miss the con before the storm,
or the calm after the storm,
after the storm,
the con after the storm. Oh, the aftershock.
The constipation, yeah.
The constipation.
That seems like something we should have during. But no, tons of stuff happened. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go through every little thing that happened at Comic-Con this year. So we'll just briefly go over some of the highlights, and then we'll go for the movie, TV. We'll hit over to the trailers, and then we'll talk about some toy news.
Trailer talk. We can't use that anymore.
We can't?
No, because Kevin Smith uses it now.
Oh, come on, Kevin.
Yeah. He had one. He did trailer talk. No more trailer talk. Trailer talk.
Oh, dang it.
So something like that.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna throw an image on the screen. So in the image you're looking at right now, that's old Travis next to a step pyramid.
Old Travis, not young Travis.
Old Travis. looking good in that tank top though.
Yeah, I was trying to pull the guns out. It's
Yeah.
so hot in Mexico, people, right now. Like, I don't know if you're in Mexico listening to this, but if you're out there on that peninsula, it is hot
Yeah,
and
and
sweaty. And if you go anywhere for more than like 5 minutes in the middle of the day, you better take another shirt. Just so the tank top was a necessity, not a.
oh, trust me, I wore nothing but tank tops. Well, I wore a t-shirt, but like it was hot in
Yep.
Iowa. In my picture, there's me. I'm holding my bike. Just normally the team jersey I wore every day looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but the one I'm wearing is just a still blue one. But anyway, I'm right next to this Togepi cutout, and there was a Pokemon stop, and they said, stop here for the Pokestop." And so I was like, "Cool," I'll take a picture with it. So that's what we did. But let's get started with the news because I'm tired. You're tired. It's late at night.
And we're talking about the news,
Yeah,
people.
we got
The
something to
news.
report. Starting with the fact that at SDCC, we've heard this rumor for a long time about Miss Marvel, and it was going to be the first Marvel female-led film, and it was obviously going to be Miss Marvel, but they're calling her Captain Marvel. And we always kind of had a feeling that Brie Larson was the person. We've heard rumors, and it's been officially confirmed that Brie Larson will be Captain Marvel in
It's
the upcoming.
official. It's
Yes.
like Facebook official.
Yeah, so it's not clear if she will first show up in her solo film or if she'll show up in like Guardians of the Galaxy somewhere or
I could see that.
I think Infinity War comes first.
No, I thought she was. I think she's. Wait, the part one or part two?
Part one.
The one they're renaming.
Yeah, because they figured the part one, part two
Yeah,
was cool.
I guess it could be between part one and part two. But
I think it'd be interesting if she showed up somewhere in Guardians.
I think that'd
we
be.
need a connection between Earth and
Yeah, I'm kind
the
of
stars.
wondering. I'm kind of wondering how that's gonna come together. I kind of wonder if Doctor Strange might be the
No.
connector. There's multiple realities. I don't know. So.
Oh, but there's a little fun thing. If you notice in the new Marvel logos, they like show different characters in different colors, but the colors of the Marvel letters are the colors of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, that was a cool addition. I did see that.
Yeah. But let's move on across the pond to the DC movie, and this is not the live action stuff. This is the small screen. The animated film Justice League Dark, which one of our first stories that we talked about was that there was going to be a Justice League Dark movie by Guillermo del Toro, and it didn't happen. they scratched it, but they made a animated film instead. And the cool thing about this is that they've brought in the voice talent of Matt Ryan, who was the star of the Constantine show, the NBC John Constantine show, which was short-lived. The shame that it's not going to get rebooted because that was a really good show. Unfortunately, people aren't smart enough for it.
Yeah.
Personal opinion. But he's going to be voicing John Constantine in this trailer, and we see him teaming up with Zatanna. I believe there was Deadman and a couple of the other. I don't think Etrigan's going to be in this one, but it's based off the New 52 run of Justice League Dark, and we see Batman in it. So you can't have a Justice League or a DC film without Batman being mentioned or seen in it somewhere.
You can't have a Batman, or you can't have an animated DC thing without Batman being involved somehow,
right? But no. So take a look for that. It's scheduled to release in 2017. Which this little information came out during the Killing Joke little information. So the DVD that came out. So, but speaking of Killing Joke, we actually have a Token Nerd review of the animated adaptation of Killing Joke that is on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel.
It's probably on our Facebook page too.
Yeah,
it's on our YouTube channel.
Our social media. But no, check that out. I'll put actually a link in the description down below so you can get to that. But that's kind of it for movie news. Unless you have anything to add.
No, the movie news really been kind of dry except for the trailer world. So
yeah, we don't want to. We're gonna keep that a little separate.
So that's a separate section. So we'll talk about that later.
So also at SDCC, things were talked about for the TV news and Agents of Shield. For a while, we've been seeing these trains with custom paint jobs on them, which showed Agents of Shield season 4 and a fiery chain.
Yep.
Now a lot of people said, "Oh, Ghost Rider," and I said, "No, it's not Ghost Rider. There's a guy in the show who has a flaming chain that he fights with. He's gonna be the main villain."
It's called Ghost Rider. I'm just kidding.
I was wrong. It was Ghost Rider.
Man, it seems like you're wrong a lot.
You know what, Travis? I think we're gonna ignore that not real fact. But anyway, so Ghost Rider will be a part. There was no clip of him. We have an idea.
Like a 3D animation of him.
Yeah, 3D animation of a skull, and then you see the eyes. What he calls his eyes. It's like.
And then Nicolas Cage came out.
And everyone went, boo.
that wasn't a downtime for Nicolas Cage.
No, but apparently Ghost Rider will be played by Gabriel Luna. So I'm assuming that this Ghost Rider will be based off of the Hispanic, obviously Hispanic take
Yeah.
on. And it had a really short run, but if you get to Comic Storian, he actually has the origin story of that Ghost Rider. I think
Yeah.
that'd be kind of interesting because you don't have to have the full CG flaming skull all the time. You could
Yeah.
have him wearing a mask instead.
And that was kind of one of the downfalls of the Nicolas Cage. Well, there was many downfalls, but that was one of them. Is that the CGI, like the CG had to be there like all the time, and it looked kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like
But
pretty bad.
we also have Jason O'Mara, who was known for he was in like the Batman games, the
Yeah.
Arkham games. So
Yeah.
he is actually going to come in apparently as the head of Shield.
Yeah.
So Coulson is no longer the head of Shield, and he's now an agent. And
Maybe he got killed in the Avengers movie.
Coulson?
The other one, right? I'm thinking of the wrong guy. Dang it.
I'm confused. Agent Coulson?
I'll just stop.
All right.
But
yeah.
no, like I'm interested to see what they do with Ghost Rider. He's a character that I've kind of gravitated towards over time, so I'll be interested to see how they adapt it to the actual TV show.
Yeah.
I actually think it's kind of cool also that they've. I'm not saying Ghost Rider's like up there with Captain America or anything like that, but he's like in the second wave of like.
We were expecting a Netflix movie from him. Once they said that they, him, Daredevil, all those rights that came over, I thought, oh, that's gonna be the next Netflix series.
Yeah, because I think that I think he's like I think he's like at the same level as like Luke Cage and like Daredevil. Like maybe not Daredevil, but
not anymore, but he was.
Yeah, like they're everybody kind of knew he existed. He just wasn't Captain America, you know. Like,
I definitely agree.
So like I'm kind of interested to see him on like regular TV, like this. Like not even Netflix. This is like ABC. That's like regular TV.
But we'll see. Season 4 comes out later. I think it comes out in October.
Yeah.
October or late September, but it comes out along with all the other like CW shows.
The wave of TV shows. Oh man, just all over the place.
I brought Iowa back with me.
You can win that T-shirt that he just blew his nose.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's used. But no. So that's all I got for Agents of Shield, because not a lot of information came out. A little bit of hints that, Vengeance is coming. Coulson is not going to be director anymore. Sky's still on the run. So nothing big, just things that we kind of assumed.
Yeah.
From
they're really hinging on this Ghost Rider thing.
Yeah.
I think they're really
just like they hinged on the humans.
Yeah, they're really hinging on Ghost Rider for this.
Well, the question is, will he be an Inhuman,
or will he be an Avenger? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Starting this out there.
Will he be? Excuse me. Will he be an Inhuman? Like, will he get his power from the Terrigen Mist, or is he actually going to be someone special or enhanced, or actually possessed by it,
or just Ghost Rider? Like they don't even explain it. He just walks in.
I hope they don't explain it.
He just walks in one day, flaming.
All right. Well, moving on to Netflix. So there will be for those of you who watched the anime or read the manga, Death Note.
I was wondering why I didn't know what this was.
Oh, yeah.
Now I know.
It's an anime, actually a really well-known anime in Japan, and transitioned over here and was a big hit. It's technically about a kid who finds this notebook. It's this Death Note on it. It's a black book. And if you write the name inside, it says like 3 rules, and one of which is if you write someone's name, they die, I think, 90 or 70 seconds later of a heart attack, unless you put in how they die. And this kid finds it, and so he starts to like go through, like he reads lists of murderers and starts writing their names in to die. And then he says, I could purge the world of all these terrible people. And over the time, he becomes skewed on becoming justice, and they send like special detectives in to catch him. So they don't know it's this kid who's doing it all, and he's actually really smart. And so he ends up like joining the task force to hunt himself to stay one step ahead. I mean, it's really interesting, but the whole point of this is it's going to be an American Netflix series. And we'll have William Dafoe will be playing Ryuk, who is the Shinigami, which goes with the book. So the book is there, and then the Angel of Death, or God of Death, is with each book, or it belongs to them.
Okay.
And if a human can see it,
it's going to be an animated thing.
Right? Oh, it's live action.
Oh, live action?
Yeah.
Even cooler.
But it's William Dafoe will be voicing, so I'm assuming Ryuk, because Ryuk is a long arm,
probably like a
blue
CG thing,
evil scarecrow looking thing. But yeah,
it's a guy in a rubber suit.
So this series will be coming out in 2017 on Netflix.
And Netflix has just been killing it lately.
Oh yeah,
like Stranger Things, people, you got to watch it.
I'm waiting for Abby to watch it. She
Yeah.
said I can't watch unless I watch it with her.
It feels like E.T. and the Goonies and Sandlot and X-Files all had a baby.
Ooh, that's a lot.
And, like it's like
Gangbang.
it's like it's just I mean it's just it feels so good and it feels so like
Tell me how that gangbang feels.
and it just feels like they were going for that 80s like
Yeah.
feel and they got it. It feels like every movie you watched growing up.
Oh,
Even though we
cool.
weren't like born in the 80s, like movies that people are like, "Oh, you got to watch this movie."
Mhm.
Like it feels like every movie like that. So, perfect. Good job Netflix.
Yeah.
Hopefully this next one's a continuation of the same.
Mm. Well, we're gonna jump over to CW, and CW has their TV shows coming out. We saw the sizzle reel for Arrow and Flash. We see that Arrow Oliver isn't going to be alone like we thought he was. He's going to be training Mister
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We kind of got that as the wave of hints kind of rolled out
Well,
about additional characters being
I didn't think
added,
he was going to be training them.
vigilante
And apparently, we're going to have a new layer, like a second floor layer, and
it's just right next to the
too
old
much.
layer.
It's getting too much. I liked the way it was in season 2. I like as weird as it was. I like the idea that his headquarters was under a club. It was like
Yeah.
in the flooded
I th-
basement of a club.
I think the issue with Arrow is that the character himself, like once he's done like a couple waves of like defeating a villain or two, he inevitably needs to join a team because like you're kind of like over that whole
Yeah.
like he needed to like he's not advancing.
Well,
He's just like
I would have been okay with
continuing.
him becoming a mentor, like him
Just
not staying in Star City. He
yeah.
just like he comes on other people's shows.
I think yeah, like or I think if you just show up every now and then and do something in somebody else's show, or they were doing kind of like what Netflix is doing with the Defenders, if they would have said, okay, we've got the Flash, we've got Arrow, we've got Supergirl,
Yeah.
they're all going to form some sort of team or something, like kind of like what they were talking about, how they were trying to form the Suicide Squad type thing.
Oh, that was me so angry. I would have loved a Suicide Squad TV show.
Like, because right now it's just Arrow is stuck. They're stuck and they're like what the world they developed, they're stuck there. And everybody's kind of, I'm not saying dead on the world, but everybody's kind of like, I want something more.
Yeah.
And we're not getting it. We're just getting more of the same. And now we're just going to change out all the characters, but leave the core character. And it's going to be hard this far in to like reconnect with new characters, like the same level that you did when you first started watching the show years ago.
And we're not even sure if he'll be like those characters are gonna be gone. Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Diggle will be back.
It's kind of
love Diggle.
but it's kind of like when The Walking Dead introduces a new character this far along. Like there's like you almost feel like there's like a ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to add this character because we're going to do something. It's not like it doesn't feel as natural as it did like 5 years ago when the show started.
Yeah,
or whatever.
People kind of just showed up.
Yeah.
And they worked their way from the silent back character.
Yeah, so I just feel like it's kind of like when the Brady Bunch added Cousin Oliver at the very end of the show. Like, man, people they're just not connecting with these 6 kids. So let's add another kid. It's going to save it all, right? Like
the 7th one. That's going to save her.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of what Arrow is. It's like, okay, we've gotten rid of people, moved them on, or they're going to come in and out. There's potentially maybe some contract disputes in there. Maybe like, oh, we don't want to pay you as much, so you won't be in as many episodes. And I don't know. That's all just made up. But we'll just introduce a whole new crew of people, and hopefully you'll love it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of
and let's see if we do.
That's a major dice roll, I feel like, on Arrow's part. But I mean, I don't work over there.
Iffy. But no. So I'm only worried that we're gonna run out of video footage. I don't think I cleaned out our camera.
Nope, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. So I'm not worried anymore. Speaking of CW stuff, so there was that, and then currently all the Supergirl from CBS are playing on CW.
Yep.
And so they actually released, because we said that his name was, I can mess up his last name. It's Tyler Hoechlin, and he was from Teen Wolf, and he was also in Seventh Heaven. Abby told me, and I was like, oh, I guess he was.
Didn't know that.
But anyway, so he's playing Superman, and they released the first shots of him wearing the blue and red shield. And he looks kind of goofy.
Does he have his underwear?
Yeah, he has his underwear.
Oh, man.
Oh, actually, I don't think he did. I'll have to look again. But no, he before I answer that question right off the bat. But for me, it's his hair. That's what gets it.
Does he have the Q?
Yes. Well, he has his hair kind of folded back, and the first shot when it's like edited, like the high contrast and everything, it looks bad. And then I saw a picture of him like on set. No, I like it. I think it works.
It's like those pictures of
Someone made a picture of him buffer, and I was like, okay, I can. The buffer looks
s-
better, but
so it's not like the pictures of the new Spider-Man on set. Those that suit looks bad on set.
oh, there's so much CJ that's gonna go in that
Yes,
Spider-Man suit.
but like I didn't know if it was like a similar situation where you're like, oh, it looks decent, and then you're like, oh crap, it looks awful, or it went the other way.
No, and my favorite thing about the Supergirl stuff is a lot of people like the cape looks fake,
The cape
but
always looks
the
fake.
cape is real. Like in Batman v Superman, their cape was fake.
Yeah,
I just thought it was interesting.
yeah.
So
The
check out
cape,
those
but the
images. He looks cool, and or Supergirl will join the CW this fall.
the cape always looks kind of wonky though, because like it's a man in a cape. Like
Yeah,
regardless of how you cut it, it's
but
gonna look a
I
little
like
strange.
I just like the design of this suit. It looks cool. I like it more than I like the
One from Batman vs Superman.
yeah. I don't like
Well,
his
I haven't liked that style Superman from the beginning. So
yeah.
I don't know why everybody's so anti the underwear.
I bring it
Yeah, bring it.
under roof.
Yeah, I love Quail Man, and he has his underwear on the outside.
Uh, undies white.
Yeah.
But so also on the CW Seed is the smaller online branch of CW, and they have their Vixen show. Well, Vixen is actually going to be on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah. So the animated
Yep,
version of
and
it, right?
the animated version will have season 2, and they've released at SDCC like a minute and a half, which is almost half the episode. But you see like Weather Wizard from Flash causing mayhem, and then you see Firestorm fighting him and Flash fighting, and then you see Vixen come in and they take down Weather Wizard together, and it was really cool. I was like, I almost kind of want this an animated series. Like, can we? Because the episode's only 5 minutes long. I would
Yeah.
have loved it if
If it was like a whole thing.
yeah, if you could really make it like a half-hour episode,
Yeah.
would be
Well,
awesome.
I mean, I feel like if it wasn't just on the internet. Now, granted, a lot of people are on the internet these days.
They are, but the
I feel like
animated stuff's not where
yeah, I feel like if it was like on TV, it'd have a better shot. But
because it does as dramatic as it is, it lacks the obviously the drama that the live
yeah.
action show has
Well,
to
I
bring.
mean, and also though, if it was with a 5 minute episode, um,
Only the meat and the potatoes.
yeah, it's like boom, we got to knock this out. You know, we ain't got time to be playing around here. No wide angle shots or anything coming in, but
No moping scenes.
yeah, so no crying.
But speaking of Vixen being on Legends of Tomorrow, we have found out that the antagonist of Legends of Tomorrow will be the Legion of Doom. It will feature Merlin, Malcolm Merlin. It will feature Captain Cold, who, don't want to spoil anything. That's a surprise. We are also
That's a surprise.
Damien Dark, who I thought died at the end of last season. He'll be in it. Because we actually see a clip of Sarah, who's the White Canary, face off with Damien Dark, where she says, "I've been waiting for this moment because he killed Sarah in Arrow."
Yep.
Or not Sarah, he kills Laurel in Arrow, and so she wants her revenge. But Legends of Tomorrow will return to the CW October 13th, and we're gonna see the Justice Society of America.
Yep.
We'll get Stargirl and a couple other characters in that series.
All within that series, and I wonder if they're going to eventually try to spin out of that series some, like because there's characters in there that can carry a story.
Well,
so.
I'm still think that I don't like the Adam that has shown himself in that series. This self doubt, and that's kind of what he is. He feels 6 something, but he feels small compared to everyone else.
Yep.
So I would have loved to see like a Heat Wave Adam show, or
That
like
would be good.
like a Brave and the Bold. Like you have random episodes with like 2 characters in it. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I just didn't like how choppy that season was, where it was like, oh, one episode we're in this, one episode we're in that. It felt kind of Monster of the Week, but every episode was like.
And there actually was an episode that was the Monster of the Week. It was like Werehawks. It was my favorite episode. It was made like Gremlins.
Whereas I'm saying is like
or Shot.
There was an overarching story, but every episode felt compartmentalized. So it wasn't like it didn't flow as well as like Flash does or Arrow.
Yeah.
When Arrow was working. But like I just wish it flowed a little better because like
I can feel that.
Like when they went to the 50s and they went to Wild West, and it was on like when they went to the Wild West, it was like Back to Future 3. It's just like like I don't want to watch this. Like I don't know. It's just to me it's I would like a more cohesive story, but that's just I'm not a fan of that show really. So
I got you.
I watched most of it. I didn't see the very end.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I liked it. I'm ready for the next season.
Yeah, but like maybe it's because you held out a little longer than I did, because you were kind of initially kind of similar to me, where you were like on the fence on it, whereas I just kind of stopped watching. You kept going, and maybe it gets a little better.
You gotta believe in something, man.
I do believe in
Gotta
stuff,
believe.
but stuff gets in the way, and if it's like, oh, I'm on the fence on it, I fall the wrong way apparently.
I'm just telling you, catch up. Watch it while you're cleaning. Put it on Hulu and watch it.
Yep. I know.
I'm never gonna let this go. By the way, this is gonna be the ongoing joke. So one day he's like, "No, I'm done," and storms out of the studio.
Trailer talk,
Trailer talk.
which we can't call it that, but trailer talk.
Trailer talk.
So here we are.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we had a list of, there are several trailers that came out, some of which being Doctor Strange, the Luke Cage, the Defenders little teaser thing, the Iron Fist teaser, the Wonder Woman trailer, the Justice League trailer, the Flash Season 3 teaser, the Arrow scissor reel, Legends of Tomorrow scissor reel, the Great Wall, and then Lego Batman. So what we're going to do, and there's obviously much, much more, but what we're going to do is we're going to pick three shows that we really liked.
Sure.
And discuss those briefly, and that will be trailer talk this week.
All right.
So, go for it. What were your three trailers?
So do I want to drop the bomb, the one we disagree on, or do I want to go with
No, save that because I want to.
Okay, we'll expel on that one. Okay. So my favorite right off the bat was, I will say, Doctor Strange.
Really?
And the reason being is that in the first trailer, I felt like I got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I got like, oh, the world flies sideways. Why is the world flying sideways? Yeah. And in this one, I feel like they opened it up and they still, I think the layman and the layman to Marvel, it's like, oh, I love Captain America. They're gonna be like, what is this? And I don't know if they're gonna sit through it. And I am kind of worried it might get like a Thor vibe.
Yeah.
Where like people are like,
this is too much.
I like the character, but I don't care about all this other stuff. Like, and if when he's in a team movie or something like that, he might be more popular. That's kind of what I feel like happened with Thor.
Yeah.
As far as like with the layman Marvel fan, but I don't know. Like I feel like you got a lot more of what's going on in the movie without getting a lot about what's going on.
Yeah.
So you got to learn a little bit about the movie itself, but not enough to ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't totally Batman versus Superman
it. But not yet.
Not yet. It's still early. Marvel does a pretty good job though.
Worst things can happen.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to go with number one. Number two, I did like that Luke Cage trailer. I felt like it was a very
urban-y.
It was very urban-y. Yeah, it was very urban-y.
I'm digging it though. I'm so excited for this show to come out.
I feel like they're playing up the ethnicity in this one.
Well, yeah, he was technically he was the first black superhero. I think Black Panther, but then Luke Cage followed.
Yep.
Like, but he hit it hard. Like people really liked him.
Yep. So I think that's I'm just excited for that season anyway. I really liked both Daredevil seasons. Jessica Jones, I liked a lot. So I'm expecting more good stuff from this. So
and it's supposed to be different. Each of the shows is going to have a different tone, and so
so I'm excited about this. And each title is going to be something. What was it? It's going to be a song title. I forget.
It was a.
I don't know why I wrote
I know
this
it wasn't
up.
just rap, but it was someone specific.
Yeah, there's someone specific as a song title, and it's escaping me.
Each episode title was.
So I'm excited.
Well, because Jessica Jones had the theme where it was like AKA the episode.
Yep.
So this is gonna be the theme, and the Daredevil's is just blank because you can't see it.
It's just blank.
It's braille.
It's braille. It's little bubbles, like little dots all over the place. But
so that's two.
Flash season 3. That's my third one. That looked awesome, and while watching it, I was the most like what's going on?
Yeah,
like,
excited because you have invested so much in this show.
So like I was like, oh man, Flashpoint. And my first question at the end was, of course, is this one episode or is it going to be the whole?
It's supposed to echo through the entire season.
Yeah. So
here.
And I heard from Mark Bernardin. he said it the other day that it's going to echo through the other series.
Really?
Yeah. Now, whether or not he's informed, I don't know.
Maybe that's why Damien Dark isn't dead.
Could be. Could be what's going on with maybe the team isn't new. Maybe it's just the team.
Yeah.
Maybe the reason he's training him is because it's like 5 years ago.
No. 5 years ago, he would have just been season. Yeah, he would just started.
Maybe he was never on the island.
But anyway, so now for my list. So that was your three, and it was Luke Cage, Doctor Strange, and Flash. My three trailers were obviously I love Luke Cage. Can't use it because you did. Lego Batman.
That was good. That was
Like
good.
Lego Batman had me sold. Like I for a long time I thought, you know what? He was funny in the Lego movie. You can't really take that and remake it.
And make a whole movie out of it.
And they're going to, and it's they I'm not sure if this is going to be Jason Todd or Dick Grayson, but it's like this Batman bought this orphan at an auction, but he was joking. He didn't think he actually bought him, and then he he's a weird kid. I don't like Michael Cera's voice, and so hearing him,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tune that out. But
Yeah.
Will Arnett as Batman is pretty flawless. Where are the seatbelts? There's one thing I want to teach you. It's that life has no seatbelts. I love it. I mean, everything about it just looks funny. And then we'll have Zach Galifianakis as the Joker.
When we get back to the Batcave, I'll have Alfred put seatbelts in.
I'm just gonna
Until then, I'll
right
just
here.
put my arm right here.
It's funny. You have to watch it. I'm excited for that movie to come out. So because it's gonna be a fun time, and we need fun.
Yeah.
In comparison to the Batman movie that came out where Batman killed everyone, and this Batman's going to like
And the killing joke.
Yeah.
Like, I did point out when we were after the trailer, I said, like if a Batman cartoon came out that was like a serious Batman cartoon, but it was like funny, would
Brave and
we
the Bold.
would we accept it as much?
No, because we kind of do have that right now. There's that Batman Unlimited,
Yeah.
Unleashed. Yeah, it's not getting praised.
And like, I think the reason we accept it is because it's Legos. So we're like, oh, it's ridiculous because it's Legos. So we accept the fact that
Yeah,
it's
no, I
funny.
getcha.
Like, so like, I wish you could have something like, I almost wish there was like a Batman 66 like updated
No.
like cartoon.
we're
like
good.
I think it'd be funny. I think it would be cool, but if it was done correctly.
So Lego Batman number 2, and I fought with it. It was either going to be Justice League or Wonder Woman, but I'm so hyped for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It looks so good. I mean, she looks so badass. The scene where she like slides to hit somebody and she's on her shield, and because at first I saw pictures and I was like, she looks like her hair is always done. It doesn't like her hair
It doesn't
looks
move.
flawless. But there was a cool scene with her using the lasso of truth, and you see her like looking around hitting people. She just looks awesome. And I was a big hater of Gal Gadot as being Wonder Woman. I was like, she's not big enough. She doesn't look strong enough. I'm done talking, and she looks sexy when she finds
I'm kind of uncomfortable.
Dude, we have these kind of conversations all the time off camera. Don't get all weird now. But no, she looks good on Themyscira, the Amazon. But I was kind of
like
hoping
the website.
I was kind of hoping that the other Amazons or Amazonian women were going to be like young. Because the idea is that they don't age.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of interesting if like her mom looked like she was either her age or younger.
Yeah.
But little things. But it looks like it's gonna be funny. It's gonna have heart. A lot of people have like saying, oh, she's like Captain America. Technically the time frame, they're like, it's just a shield. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't base it all, but it looks like fun. And
I think part of it is just, again, as we talked about earlier in earlier podcasts, is people don't really know the Wonder Woman story. So they're just automatically, oh, she has a shield and it's like in a war. So obviously it's Captain America.
Yeah. Well, my big thing is that what we've seen of
they
her
both
so
wear red,
far
white, and
is
blue.
in Captain America, the first Avenger, all the cool scenes were a montage.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get a montage in this. We're actually gonna see her on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So that was my number 2. Like I said, I really wanted to pick Justice League because Justice League is really cool. But the one I'm excited for is Skull Island.
No.
Now stop. Turn your mic off for a second. Let me talk. You know what?
The producer just booed from the corner too.
Oh, Ben's not doing anything. No. King Kong. Granted, we had to make him bigger so that he could match Godzilla, so we could have our Godzilla
He's
versus
still
King
not
Kong
big
movie.
enough.
And while I think it's gonna be strange that there's a gigantic gorilla hiding on this island,
And nobody noticed it.
yeah, no one. Well, it's set in Vietnam. Still excited for it. John Goodman's in it. Loki's in it. Whatever his real name is.
Loki's in it.
Tom Hiddleston, thank you. And then Samuel Jackson, angry as heck.
Somebody get this gorilla off this plane.
Off this planet. Get this gorilla, or not planet, off this island. Anyway, I'm excited for it. It looks cool. We've seen a couple shots where he looks like he's sitting upright. He doesn't look like he's hunched over. So he looks like he's from Godzilla versus King Kong. Like
then they showed like his leg
up.
too. They like showed his leg in one of the scenes.
His leg, and then you see his head like coming
Raising
up on
up.
But it looks like there's either like an islander, one of the islanders that you see holding a knife over Tom Hiddleston's character, and then Godzilla or King Kong's head rises up over a cliff, and you see him like breathing down on himself.
This is probably a totally ridiculous question, but So
Ridiculous on this podcast?
is this King Kong in any way tied to any other King Kong that's ever existed? Like, I mean, like, is it time? Is it like anyway? Like, oh,
No.
there was another King Kong that we
No,
took
this
away
is
from the island,
no,
and this is
this
King
is
Kong 2,
it shouldn't be. This should be like
a Vietnam King Kong.
Vietnam King Kong, but like they're talking it like they're setting it up for the idea that, long ago monsters ruled this planet. So it's the same world as Godzilla.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to bring other Godzilla monsters into this eventually.
Not this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if they say like this was Monster Island. A lot of the monsters
Yeah.
that leave are from
Yeah.
Skull Island.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was. This, I mean, it's still a little early, but the CG looked a little rough in this preview. They stacked the deck on actors, as far as like getting people that everybody knows. So they're probably going to draw, and it's King Kong. So like, oh, King Kong, like that'll pull in people. Like my mom was like, oh, there's a new Godzilla movie. Like my mom doesn't watch Godzilla movies. Like, but she was like, oh, there's a Godzilla movie. The same thing will happen with this. Oh, there's a new King Kong movie.
Yeah.
Like, so they're going to get that. They stack the deck with the actors, so they're going to get people like, oh, I love Samuel L. Jackson, or I love John Goodman. So
Do you smell that? A lot of hate.
so they're going to get that, but I mean,
So I take it this is going to be your negative movie. So we're going to ask the next question was, which movie are you not excited for? So I take it this is the one you're not excited for.
That and Justice League.
What? Okay, no, I'm not gonna get to that one. The one I'm not excited for is the Great Wall.
Yeah, what is the Great Wall?
It's the
Sorry, I'm
idea-
not excited about it because I didn't see that one.
It's the idea that I don't know the whole story, but there are monsters, and so China built the Great Wall to keep monsters out. And
This is dumb.
it's another white savior movie.
Yeah, this is dumb.
So it's somehow Matt Damon's.
I was going to say, is
here.
it Tom Cruise?
No, but what doesn't make sense is that I guess it says it like it took several hundred years to build the wall.
That's probably a legitimate estimate.
No. They use real facts of the Great Wall of China, but it was like
Except
so
the
how
fact
did
is
you
to keep
build
monsters
This,
out.
how'd you build this wall while fighting off monsters? Like if there are monsters, you had to build a wall to stop them from getting to you. How did you build this wall for all these years without them eating you?
Quit bringing logic into this. Come on.
I know.
And the wall itself,
It's like
right?
Attack on Titan.
Like eventually it just stops. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not like they could just walk around it. Like they would if it's a big
But
monster.
they're not that smart.
They could walk far.
They
and
look
just,
like dragons though, so that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
You know what I'd rather see if there was a movie called The Great Wall?
Huh.
When Danny Way jumped the Great Wall on a skateboard. Can we get a documentary of that? That was way more interesting than what you just described.
All right. Well, that's trailer talk. Trailer talk for you folks. Trailer talk, y'all.
Trailer talk.
But no, let's move on to toy news.
Toy
And
news.
That's Travis's department. So tell me what's happening in the
So
world
many of
toy
you know,
news.
and as we've just talked about, that San Diego Comic-Con was going on about a week or
I
so
completely
ago.
forgot.
Yeah, so at San Diego Comic-Con, there tends to be a lot of toy reveals. And first up on the list, we have Bandai. Some of you may know we enjoy a show from the 90s and current, actually, called Power Rangers.
Go Power Rangers.
So they have revealed, first up, the figures from the movie, the upcoming movie. They look like Iron Men again.
Yeah.
So they've revealed all the little figures that are going to go along with the movie. They look hyper articulated the way they had them standard. So I'm guessing it's like a similar build to the Legacy series. They're really rigid looking. I'll check a look at them in the store, and depends on how excited I am about this movie, I guess, once the movie happens. But
The thing is, what the Megazord's gonna look like.
yeah, what's the Megazord going to look like? I think it's going to be like chromed out.
I really hope it's not like super detailed transformation. Like
I think it's going to be like Transformers chromed out. Like you're not going to be able to see anything because it's going to be rolling metal, similar to the actual Power Rangers. They look shiny and chrome as well. But I mean, I guess this is kind of movie news, toy news. But at the booth, they actually had the helmets on display, and they had the power coins on display. And an interesting point was made about the power coins is that they look like a color of white with like rock around them, kind of.
Okay.
But it looks exactly like the center of the new Rita staff.
oh,
And Rita's staff one is green. So somehow
she'll
probably
use that.
she'll make the Green Ranger, or they're gonna
That's the post-credit scene.
or they're gonna make something totally ridiculous, because what color is Rita's new suit? What if she is getting her Rita powers from the Green Ranger coin, the green
coin.
power coin, That's why her suit is green.
That makes sense. And so
I just
she
made this
loses
up. I
it.
didn't
She
read this
loses it. That
anywhere.
would make. I
I
mean,
didn't read this anywhere. I
as
just made that
far
up.
as this could go, that could make sense.
Yeah. So, but the helmets looked a little wonky. I don't know if they're like the actual helmets or if they're just like a replica of the helmet. The only one that really looked like a dinosaur was the Red Rangers. The
Uh-huh.
Pink Rangers kind of resembles the original. The Black Rangers, I don't know what's going on there. It looks nothing like anything
Yeah.
I've ever seen. And the one of the most interesting things about the helmets though at the booth were the fact that they all kind of have different mouths. That's kind of a first. They've always kind of had
Generic mouth.
like, but we'll see.
Are
We'll
they
see.
all like scowling like they're like emoji helmets? So there's like the Red Rangers smiling, the Pink Rangers like not giving the kissy face, the Yellow Ranger
Duck
kind of
face.
not
So,
sure.
but yeah, so those are on display there, which is movie news, but it was at a toy booth, so we'll just call it toy news. And then also while they were there, they revealed the space, in space Power Ranger
Sweet. Love
legacy
that
figures.
series. We
So
talked about
they're-
that last episode.
Yep. So they revealed a few different waves of legacy figures. They have the wave 1, which includes the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, Morphin Red Ranger, and then the Ninja Storm.
Oh,
There's 3 of them. I believe it's
Yeah.
red, teal, and pink. Is
Yeah.
it green? Maybe it's,
no, it's red. Technically red, blue, and yellow.
is that blue? Okay, yeah. So they got the blue one that they're showing off. The interesting thing about this Legacy series is that apparently they include Build-A-Figures.
Oh.
The Green Ranger does not have a piece because he's not building anything, but the Red Ranger has a piece of the Megazord,
Were
and
they all parts of their Zords?
they're not their Zords though. So
Oh.
like, because it's not like a big Megazord. It makes like a slightly bigger action figure version of the Megazord,
Okay.
and so like the Red Ranger had like the front of the Megazord,
Okay.
so like the chest piece and like the crotch.
I can still
region.
get on board with that.
Yeah. So then the Ninja Storm Rangers have pieces for theirs, but I don't know anything about that, so I don't want to talk about it. But continuing on the waves, they're going to have the remainder of the Mighty Morphin Rangers, and they'll each have a piece of the Megazord that'll build the Mighty Morphin Megazord. This will continue into the in space wave, which they will build the blue space.
Yeah, the command ship.
Yeah, that thing. They're gonna, but it's not in ship form. It's in Megazord form.
Yeah.
So that's what that one's going to build. So I'm kind of excited about that series. I've been talking with some people that collect some of these figures, and the big question we have is, will these fit in line with the Legacy Rangers that released in 2014? If you miss some of those figures, they're kind of hard to get. You just basically have to go to Toys R Us and walk up and down every time, and hopefully they got a box in. But because I'm guessing they were planning for this wave, they probably stopped shipping those figures. So whatever's left is what's left. So I wonder if they kind of fit in, or if I'm going to have to buy all new Rangers. I can tell by looking that the Red Ranger is a totally different figure, because it doesn't have the shield plastered on it. But we'll see. I mean, if you only had 1 or 2, it's probably not that big a deal. But if you had like 3 and you're trying to get like pink or something, like
Yeah.
you might be in trouble. So we'll see what happens with that. I think the Build-A-Figure thing's an interesting thing. I don't know if it's enough to get people to buy the additional figures. I kind of question the collectability of, oh, I want 5 Rangers or 6 Rangers or 7 if you want the white one, like over and over again. And like, it's enough that I'm going to get a piece of the Megazord to buy all of them. Because I think there's probably people out there that collect the Yellow Ranger, or the Blue Ranger,
Yeah.
or I don't know if there's people that collect, I want every Ranger in every series. So I don't know. We'll see. But it's an interesting figure. I saw the packaging. The first wave that includes the Ninja Storm and the 2 Mighty Morphin Rangers is supposed to hit stores August 15th. So if you happen to be looking for these figures, I say start hitting up your Toys R Us's and Targets to make sure that they are getting them or not putting them out before street date, because they're probably going to. So I think those figures are $20 based on everything I've seen. So
Okay.
if you're looking for them, make sure to grab them. Next up, there was some news about the DC Multiverse. The 6-inch line is adding Zoom. So,
Cool.
and Jay Garrick Flash was announced. So I don't know if it's like,
Bittersweet.
it's not old Jay Garrick Flash. It's like the younger one.
Yeah, Teddy Cruz.
The Teddy Cruz version. But in that wave, it looks like they're doing a Build-A-Figure, which is King Shark.
Ooh, excited for
So
that one.
that might make worth buying some of these figures. Um, crap, young girl Robin, what's her name?
Oh, Carrie Kelly?
Yep, they're making one of her. A figure of her looked pretty cool.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
there was a lot of figures in that DC Multiverse line that I was kind of like, that's okay, that's okay. They're doing like Rebirth Batman and stuff, and I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, like it's these Batman the ones they were releasing just didn't connect with me.
Yeah.
I love the TV versions though. I believe there were some Arrow ones in there, but nothing like stood out to me that I was like, oh my god, I have to have except for Zune and King Shark, and I'll probably get Jay Garrick.
Zoom would be really cool. I like
Yep.
I love the design. Even though it's solid black.
Yeah, and it has like blue like lightning that kind of
Ooh,
like goes on to it.
that's cool.
Yeah, so looks pretty cool. We'll see what
Okay.
happens when it comes out. Marvel Legends World, there's a ton of figures coming out. Two that caught my eye though is the TV version of Jessica Jones and Punisher.
Oh,
Yeah, the Punisher one looks awesome.
yeah.
So there's a lot of figures in that Marvel Legends line this time around. I was just kind of like, meh. But those two, I'm probably going to seek them out. I wish they would do a TV version of Daredevil as well.
Mhm.
I think it'd be really cool to build up a like a Defenders.
Yeah, Defenders
Like,
set.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'd hope they, I want the season 2 armor, but I also want the all black one.
Yeah, the with the like the t-shirt mask looking
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that'd be
Love
pretty
that
cool
one.
too. So hopefully they continue on with that. But Marvel Legends, good product. We've reviewed some of these before, but sometimes the joints get a little weak. So hopefully they work on
Hold
that
up, yeah.
with the TV version specifically, because like Jessica Jones is rather small. So they showed off the Suicide Squad ones that are on shelves right now, and those figures just look so rough. Like the cuts on them are really bad. Harley Quinn's arms look really bad. I mean, girl figures always suffer from this because they're like tiny joints and they have to cram
Yeah.
the toy stuff inside of it. And they should have just left her arms like less articulated because it just looks so bad because she has like bicep cuts and like it turns the arm and the whole thing. It's just like
Yeah, so it looks
it's just like the whole thing turns and it just looks so bad. So, but they showed them off at because a lot of people haven't seen them in store yet. They're still kind of hard to find. Um, and I don't know, it just kind of turned me off. Even the katana, like I saw the detailed photos of that, and I'm like, oh, that's the one I was thinking about trying to find. And now I'm like, if I find it, I might get it.
yeah.
Like I don't know. So, but I'm excited for some of the other stuff, and we'll see what happens there. Another big news from the San Diego Comic Con is that Star Wars Black 6-inch series has announced that Qui-Gon Jinn will be available,
Cool.
a Lando,
Awesome.
which was a fan. People were begging for that one.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. They took a good likeness of him. A Tusken Raider. This thing looks like it looks really good. The sculpt is done
People
really
are gonna
well.
eat that one up.
The Emperor's Guard. I'm gonna need 2 of those.
Yeah.
just for my like
yeah, just to complete
just
it.
to complete it. I'm gonna have to have 2 of those. And then I will let you say the last one. Rebels.
Hera.
There you go.
I'm very excited for the Rebel set.
The Rebels figures look good, and it's cool seeing them transformed into the 6-inch series. Really cool.
Yeah.
Final little bit of toy news. We kind of mentioned this. I believe we had this information last time, but the fact that the Matty Collector will no longer be a thing. It will now be done through Super 7, and they will be continuing the He-Man Masters Universe Classics line that Mattel's been doing. From the information we've gathered, right now the Thundercats line that they're doing, they don't. Super 7 does not have a license for that. They're going to attempt to get the license, but what has to first happen is that Mattel has to release it, and then they have to go pick it up, and that's going to take time. So their goal is to continue that line, but there's a lot of legal stuff that has to happen first. So probably not 2017, but maybe they'll continue it on and maybe finish out the team. So we'll see. But it sounds like they're planning to try to use as much as they can as far as like same factory, same packaging. Pixel Dan had a really good video interview with Brian Flynn of Super 7 that kind of explained the whole thing. So if you want to check that out, if you're worried about that, head over to Pixel Dan on YouTube, his channel, and you'll find the video that kind of talks your way through any kind of collector woes you might have on what's happening with your Matty Collector subscription. So that's all the toy news I have right now, though.
That's kind of all the news we have in Total.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for checking out this latest episode of the Token Nerd Podcast. If you enjoyed our conversation, if you enjoyed the things we talked about, comment down below. Let us know what you think. What was your favorite trailer of SDCC? Have you seen Killing Joke? What'd you think about it? Were there things you weren't so sure about?
And then go watch the review.
Yeah, and then go watch our review. If you're excited for the figures, are you gonna go ahead and check out the black figure set? Apparently everyone wants a Hera, really, Rebels figure. No one wants Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
You want Lando though. Definitely want Lando. But no, so check that out. You can always find out what we're doing at our Instagram and Twitter at token_nerd. And we're on Facebook as well at tokennerd00. And you can check out our website, tokennerd.com, where we upload all of our episodes to that site, so you can find everything there. Also, we have a new channel that has joined the Token Nerd Network, and that is the Real Film Geeks. I think they're on their 2nd episode.
No, they're on their 4th.
Wow,
Yeah,
look
they
where I'm at.
uploaded some more. And so basically, if you like talking about movies and talking about hearing people continue the discussion about movies, it's the perfect podcast for you, because they have more general discussion style podcasts where they just kind of go over their thoughts and opinions and their historical information on movies that they've gathered. So
they go in depth on different movies.
Yeah, so they're not just telling you news; they're telling you beyond the news.
Yeah,
so,
beyond facts, opinions, thoughts.
So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure to subscribe to Token Nerd Network on iTunes, where you'll get us, Token Nerd, you'll get the UVD Weekly Wrap Up, and Real Film Geeks, all in one place. So,
and you might possibly get a fourth surprise channel that is in the works. We're not going to say what it is.
Let's just say the Token Nerd Network is growing. We're growing all right. I don't know if anybody's asking for it, but we're growing.
Yeah. All 13 of our fans, which we appreciate all of you.
We might be taxing you guys out with how many podcasts you have to listen to per week, but
there's always something to listen to.
Yeah.
So, as always, folks, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Travis.
Stay spicy, my friends. Friends.